Welcome to the Liberty 76 Rides channel. Just go ahead and get right to it. I've had in my 35 years of driving a number of cars and trucks and SUVs, and while this picture here is not of my actual first vehicle, it's the closest I can come. Same paint scheme and everything in year. It's a 1987 Chevy Blazer. It was a Tahoe package. Mine was a two-wheel drive with a 2.8 liter V6, which put out, I don't know, maybe 120 horsepower. It was pretty anemic. So that's kind of the beginning of things. Next, we've got my 1991 Camaro RS. Had a 305 in it, throttle body injection, so it's only putting out about 170 horsepower stock. I did about everything I could to try to get more power out of the thing over the years. Had it all the way until 1994. At that point, it had about 375 horsepower. It had a lot of work done on it. Went through a few transmissions trying to get it dialed in, but eventually ended up selling it. There it is right here with some friends of mine. We all had Camaros back then. It's pretty much Camaros and Mustangs back in those days. You had one or the other for the most part. And that's going to take us to my next ride, which is a 1994 Z28. It had the 5.7 liter LT1 motor, 6-speed transmission, and 342 rear end in it. I did the usual stuff. The tuned it, exhaust, cold air intake, Hurst shifter, all that usual stuff, and bigger throttle body, and it really performed. Probably one of the most fun vehicles I had. I like the looks of the third gen better, but the performance of that fourth gen just really was something. That'll lead into our next vehicle is a 1999 Ford F-150 flare side sport with the 4.6 liter. I really wanted a 5.4, but 4.6 is what I ended up getting. And it was a fun vehicle. I had a vending business at the time, and kind of doing that with the Camaro kind of hard to do. So I needed something with more room and cargo space. So got a truck for a few years. Next up is a 2001 Chevy Tahoe that I had for a few years. Did like MagnaFlow exhaust, cold air, tuner, and all that stuff. It actually do about 126 on my GPS with that tuner that took off the speed limiter, so it'd go pretty quick with a 5.3 in it. And it's towing my second boat, which was a Baja 232, I think is what it was, with the 454 in it, which had also towed my Baja 29 Outlaw with twin 496s in it. That was pretty much about the max of its tow rating there. That brings us to my 2003 GMC Yukon Denali. Really like this one. Did some upgrades to it, cold air, MagnaFlow exhaust. What else? Oh, did a Diablo tuner on that one, and it ran really strong with that 6-liter motor in it, and definitely did a better job of with all-wheel drive towing my 29 Baja. Now, during the time I had that Denali, my grandfather had passed away, and he left me his 2001 BMW X5. So I kind of kept both for a couple years, and sold the Denali when I got rid of my boat, and then shortly afterwards sold the X5 as I got into another business and needed something that could handle heavy loads. Now, I really do miss this truck. It was a 2008 Z71 2500 with the Duramax diesel in it. I had a big train horn under there with and also an extended fuel tank with 50 gallons. I had this for a business I ran, and unfortunately during that time, diesel prices got to the $4 range, so that was kind of pricey. But I definitely do miss this truck, and I'd still drive the thing today if I had it. That brings us to the my 2010 Tahoe Z71. This thing had just about every option on it for a non-LTZ. It was an LT3 package, but it had like a DVD player, the screens that fold down to the back and everything, and really nice ride. Um, Not, can't say anything bad about it. Had cold air on it and all that good stuff like I do in most of my vehicles. But that was about the limit of what I did to it. For when times got a little tight, I sold the Tahoe and bought this from a friend. I think it was like a 2000 model uh, DTS or DHS, and couldn't leave it stock, so I threw an exhaust on it and put a Kenwood head unit in it with a backup camera and everything, because I'd kind of gotten used to having the last few vehicles having backup cameras, and that thing was long, but good car for the money, and it was fun for just to mess around. Next up, got a 2012 Ford Explorer XLT, had leather and everything. Really nice little ride. I kept it for I think a couple years, I think maybe 3, because it was a lease. So first of my lease vehicles. And next coming up is going to be another lease vehicle. And no, actually, this was a purchase. This wasn't a lease, but boy, one of my least favorites coming up. So my lease was up on my Explorer, and money was a little tight, so I ended up getting a Kia Sorento. This is not my actual one. This one looks just like it because this one's an all-wheel drive. I had a front-wheel drive version, but it was same color, same year, and all that. I think it was a 2015. Had it for a few years. About the time it hit 100,000 miles, it started. As soon as that warranty ran out, engine light came on, started having other things. So it was time to get rid of it. And then for a short while I still had the Kia, my mom had got another vehicle, and she had a 2004 530, and just wasn't worth. BMWs have like no value after a few years. So she gave it to me, and I kept it for a little bit. It had some issues, so I ended up selling it to a good friend of mine, and he got those issues fixed and gave it to his brother actually, and I think his brother still has it today. And this brings us to my current ride, 2018 F-150. It's crew cab. It's FX4 package, XLT model with the 3.5 EcoBoost. Uh, Great truck. I leased it initially, and after that, the value was so high on it for the resale value that I ended up purchasing it and financing it, and so I still got it today. And I've had it now for about 7 years. It's the longest I've had any vehicle. And just so you know, four-wheel drive doesn't mean uh, you can go through mud with the regular tires. Found out that the hard way. Got a little bit stuck. And also, here's the cam phasers getting replaced at, I believe they got done at 95,000 miles. Bought an extended warranty, and thankfully I did, because it would have cost about $4,000 versus the $300 deductible. And to do it, they take the cab off these days. I guess it's so much easier to work on that way. But this truck's been a great truck. It's the star of many of my videos on this channel that you'll see coming up here in the next pictures. And I just want to thank everybody for watching this. And I'm thinking probably within the next year of probably replacing it. So we'll take a look at that when that happens. So hopefully you liked this video, and if you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, please do so now. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them. We definitely appreciate them. And share the video if you've got anyone else that you'd like to show this video to. And I appreciate everybody. And let's get out there and let's ride.